Implement a balanced lifestyle. Now we know the information and tools to work out our calories and where we need to be. The next step is how we actually implement it. Once you've compared and worked out your calories, the next step is knowing how to apply it to your week. With the end goal in mind of achieving lasting sustainability and balance, we want to implement the strategies and habits that will align with that. This is where we'll introduce the option of having a weekly calorie split. Firstly, let me start with stating what matters most is the weekly total calories, not what a single day equals, but what the weekly total is. When it comes to the weekends, that's generally where we do stuff up or fall off track. Now, the strategy which can be implemented to help with this is having a weekly calorie split of including some higher days matched with some lower days. Now, there's no rule of thumb to say what that split needs to be, but what I wouldn't suggest doing is having a huge contrast in the split of those calories. For example, having days at 1200 or less during the week that you know are hard to stick to than having a huge amount more over the weekends, as it might increase behaviors of restriction, which can lead to overeating and binge eating due to the low calorie restriction during the week. Having a sensible split like shown here, where it's 1600 calories during the week, is something you're likely more to stick to and perhaps not feel as restricted and feel the need to overeat come the weekends. Therefore, in turn, it will help you better adhere to it in the long-term process. Otherwise, if you're someone that just prefers to keep everything consistent, you can keep the same calorie split for the whole week. It mainly comes down to your personal preference and what will work better for you to adhere to for the long term. After knowing which calorie protocol you want to use, we then need to look at what nutritional habits and behaviors you can take on board and implement. This too will be different for everyone. I've listed a few habits and actions under each group that you can start with, or if you can think of your own, use them. The main thing we want to do is pick one which is best suited to you. When deciding this, you want to consider what you want the most and what is the most easiest for you to implement. Think of the lowest hanging fruit concept, which is picking the lowest, easiest fruit to grab first. So think of what's the easiest habit and action to pick and stick to first, without committing to everything at once. Because as we know by this point, the all or nothing mentality is not a mindset for achieving sustainable, balanced results. If you're someone who needs a bit more structure and help with meal and recipes tailored to your calorie needs, you can sign up to My Food Guide to help you. My Food Guide is a web recipe and meal guide app that takes the guesswork out for you. It designs meal guides tailored to your nutritional requirements and preferences. If you'd like to give it a go and let it help you get started or on track with planning your meals, you can use the code attached below in the resource section to receive a member's discount. Your activity for this module is to pick 1 to 2 behaviors you're going to implement in the next coming weeks. You'll find the quiz attached below. Please have it completed by our next coaching call.